Wow. Yila, thank you to being here today. See, what we talked about is that people need to be more entrepreneurial. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So why do you think young Africans struggle in building and scaling their businesses?
Okay. That's actually a very good question. Number one is, to be honest, the venture capitalist the venture capitalization of Nigeria or
Mm.
Africa generally is very, very low. Funding
Okay.
for startups is very, very, very low. I was reading an article recently and they mentioned that for the startup fund for Miami alone in the United States is larger than what we have in Nigeria for just one state. And you can imagine,
Yeah.
and it's basically just a description or an interpretation of what even happens in our own country in itself. Check the
Mm.
percentage of what the healthcare budget in
Yeah.
Nigeria. So it just gives you a picture. It gives you a round picture of what it's even going to look like in terms of financing. So a lot
Mm.
of people don't pay too much attention to it. Why? In Nigeria, there's a huge wealth gap, and those who can afford it really don't care about those below. We do not even have a very good HMO structure in the country. There's medical insurance is subpar. Out of pocket.
Insurance as a field is subpar
Yes,
in
exactly.
Nigeria.
Um, the practice that we know is out of pocket payments for healthcare services. So you can see, I'm talking even in the aspect of healthcare, but even I'm talking on the aspect of general funding for startups, it's very, very low. And this is the main challenge of young entrepreneurs, not even kickstarting. There are no accelerator programs. In fact, the biggest one that we have in Nigeria currently is not even just for Nigeria, it's for all the African countries. It's the Tony Elumelu Foundation. That's the
Yeah.
biggest one that we have. We have some that come in, year out, but it's still some of the things that we're talking about. Bureaucracy has found a way to cut short almost everything. So the money that's even necessary to even help you fund and build doesn't even get to the pocket
Yeah.
of the startup founder. So it's the biggest challenge. And then the lack of you can even see we as a country don't even patronize our own brand. We have so many automobile companies. They are not being patronized by okay. Let me, since we're talking coming from a young person's perspective now, the
Yes.
founder of Nord, the automobile company Nord in Nigeria, is a young person, and nobody's hearing anything about him. Most of his supplies are even exported, not even used in house, and they make very quality product. So I feel the issue is the government not even being patriotic to its citizens in terms of patronizing our products and even putting us out there. Everybody wants to just outsource. They are not outsourcing in-house. They are not looking for solutions in-house. They are always outsourcing, and the funding is very low. And as you said, the government is not even doing what is necessary in terms of finding the right the basic amenities like the electricity we spoke about is not available
Yeah.
readily. How do businesses even kickstart? And insecurity, lack of working. Nigerian right now, if you want to even register your business, the CAC makes it very, very difficult. You always hear that their portal is down. So the services are not even there. They are very disorganized. So yes, that's mainly it. I would say that's the biggest challenge. It's a systematic challenge for young entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's a people don't understand that these simple things like registering a business, okay, like understanding the regulations, okay, they may look like they are small things, but they are huge things if you run a business. To register a business, to file a return, If doing those things cost more money in one country than a neighboring country, where would entrepreneurs go? The neighboring country. See, Africa is the most regulated continent in the world. And people don't understand that simple fact is one of the biggest reason why Africa do not have businesses, registered businesses. If we make all these things easy, any idea you have, you register a company on it. If it is so easy to do that, you do that. You have one idea, which you sit down with your friends, having a drink, you come with one idea, the next thing you do is to register a company to do it. Okay. Now, maybe some of those things will not pan out, will not develop, but registering a company, maybe 1,000 naira. I'm just using a simple example. It's 1,000 naira in the pocket of the government. Then you think about the time, the process is too cumbersome. You won't do it. These simple things hinder progress. For me now, I don't tout the government. No, let them do their simple function: security, law and order, making the environment enticing for people to come in and do what they want to do. Okay, so until we do that, we struggle with building the entrepreneurial environment to solve the problems of our people. So this is one of the reasons why I think we are behind. What other reasons do you think we are behind?
Well, there's so many. I would say all these things put together have, in a way, discouraged a lot of people.
Yeah.
So before you even initiate any project, you're already thinking of the challenges that you would face. And not everybody has the fortitude to continue and carry on when some of these challenges hit you. So I would say that's the biggest one. It's a very big challenge. The process is not seamless. So that's one thing that would always make. And then another thing is the exposure to as well. So people are not, let me give you an example. Everybody has heard the stories that come out of Silicon Valley. So you see, it's already a hub. They're known for encouraging and helping startups grow into something big. Although now in Nigeria it's becoming better, we're still having some that are coming up, Paystack, Flutterwave, and are doing big numbers, becoming unicorns. So I would say that yes, truly, it's getting better. People are learning more, and it's going to definitely get better from here on.
Yeah.
So it's all about building the ecosystem, friendly ecosystem for businesses to thrive, for companies that are just starting to actually understand. Because at the end of the day, so far you're solving a problem, you would always be in the bracket. So I think that's mainly it. And then another thing again is if everybody just plays their part, and if the education, as we spoke about earlier, it's towards innovation rather than the usual information that we have. If people are promoted to rely on creativity and innovation, then I think it's going to help the systems to be better. Private universities in Nigeria are beginning to adopt entrepreneurial mindset. Even recently, the Nigerian government is trying to introduce some of these soft skills and technical skills for people from primary school to secondary school rather than things that are not really necessary. So I think those would give, because even if they're not giving the best of the best, but it's still some form of exposure. So at some certain level, you begin to find out that, oh, you can actually do this. And then people are very creative. They would always find a way out of it. So the government is just providing the raw ideas, or learn entrepreneurial skills, learn technical skills. But with you, it depends on how you interpret it as a person. And your creative mind is going to always come up with something, and then you find to bring out a solution. So that's why I just very believe.